Hi there folks, Borislav247 here with another Days Gone Challenge Mode video, and on this video I'm going to be showing a pretty damn special run. It's from the challenge called Dead Don't Ride, and I managed to get a score of 848k. Now it's worth pointing out that this particular run is not even a world record, but it is the highest scoring run ever that has been shown for this particular challenge. And I can't tell you enough, folks, just how difficult it is to get a score this high, because there are so many things that can go wrong during the course of a run on this challenge. And by the way, you've got to keep it together for over 16.5 minutes. This one is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Now, I was actually hoping to have 2 runs to be able to show everyone. This particular run is from the original version, the harder version to do it on, by the way. But the run that I did on the remastered version, which was 844k, unfortunately the recording footage was completely corrupt. I could not use it, and trust me, there was a few well-chosen words directed towards this PlayStation at the time when I realised I couldn't show it. But the best run of the 2, thankfully, is here. So before I get to the action, I just want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the legend Days Gone Challenge gamer that is GraySoulZ. As everybody knows, this man is extremely innovative when it comes to all of the challenges, and on this one it was no different. He employed a number of variations on his particular run, and one of them I have employed on this as well. It comes in the shape of the third last pickup on this challenge. Now, it is a bit of a risky manoeuvre, but the rewards for getting this done are huge, because you save yourself easily 4 to 6 seconds depending on how well you execute the rock climb that has to be done for this. But you'll see this later on in the run anyhow. Okay, I've waffled on enough, folks. Without any further ado, let's get to the run. Right then, here we go. As always, I have a number of targets that I like to hit throughout the course of a run, and the very first one comes with the very first drift. I like to make sure that I've got at least 49 seconds on the clock. If I have less than that, I will normally restart the run. Simple as. The next target comes very early as well. It's all to do with these 2 swarmers at the very start. That one is never an issue, but that second one there sometimes is not in that position. If I don't manage to hit both of those swarmers, again, I will restart the run. But right now, it's all good. It's now just looking to get the first few pickups and drop-offs as cleanly as possible. And so far, this is going pretty well. That swarmer is never usually an issue unless he is over on the far right-hand side. But it's very rarely that one goes that far over. Then it's just a case of making sure that I've got lined up well for those 4 swarmers there. And come to the first semi-tricky drop-off. This is how I like to get it done. I head over this way, I actually kill the speed with the nitros and try and time it as I land that jump. And that way you get a nice transition. And for the end, I always like to try and get in between that tree and that rock. You just get to the drop-off that little bit quicker. Anyways, this is another target section for me. I like to make sure that I've got at least 1 minute 40 to 1 minute 38 on the clock when I reach that pickup. If it's below 1 minute and 38, I'm restarting the challenge. I am that strict on what I expect to get on these runs. But right now, it's all going pretty well. I did miss one of the swarmers there, but it's no biggie. The one that I actually missed, I will get him on the way back. So another 2 to potentially get heading up to this next position. And I do something a little bit risky here, because when I get to the top here, I don't stop as soon as I get in there. I go to the very top section there, because I know I can get a quick stop because I'm on a hill at that point. You can potentially burst your happy drop-off trying to do it that way, but it's a risk that I usually employ, and in this case, it's paid off. Now from here, yep, another slightly risky line going through the trees, but It's super efficient and super quick. And that swarmer that I had missed before, yeah, I get him here. Another one. Now look to always drop the cart at the back of that drop-off area in order to make the transition to the next one very quick. And right now, the time is looking pretty damn good. But I'm not starting to feel any nerves at this point, it has to be said, because there's still so far to go. Now, some of you will also notice throughout the course of this run, there are times when I can get a lot closer to a passenger to pick up, and I don't. And there is a 250 point bonus that you get every time when you get a close pickup. Now, the reason why some of these that I don't do is quite simply this. It's to save time. 250 points is nothing in comparison to the 2,000 points for every second that you have at the end of the run. So it will become pretty apparent on some of these just why I'm doing what I'm doing. But right now, it's looking to get over to this section. I'm looking for another swarmer up here. Now, I usually try and kill the speed to get the landing all right there, and then I just want to drop the cart off right there. Now, this pickup here is a perfect example of what I mentioned before about not going right over to a passenger. By just hitting the brakes as soon as I get into that circle there, I've probably saved myself easily 2 seconds of time by not going right over to that passenger. Okay, I've dropped 250 points, but I've gained 4,000 at the very end of this run. It's a no-brainer, folks. But anyhow, that particular drop-off is one of the most problematic for some people, or at least it is when you're trying to do it at that speed, because I didn't let off the gas until near the very, very top, just to ensure that I could turn the cart round. But right now, I've got a ripper in the vehicle, so as always, have to make sure do not hit any swarmers. Not an issue with this one because there's no swarmers on your path heading to that particular drop-off. And this next one up here, just looking to hit the sign there, just stops the cart that bit quicker. Obviously, if you have any items that can be used at any locations to slow yourself down quicker, always use them.
Oh, thank you.
So, now that I've got that very short drop-off taken care of, the next section is all about getting the potential swarmers that are on the road. And I also make a point of actually stopping close to that one there. There's no real advantage gained by going a little bit further on there, and you do require 12 close pickups in order to complete one of the sub-challenges, which obviously is more points. But right now for this particular run route here, I'm looking to get a potential third swarmer right up here, and I'm very lucky I get him first time. Had I missed that swarmer there, I would have had another attempt when I take this same sort of route direction-wise towards that swarmer, and if I'd missed him the second time, I would have had an alternative route in getting to one of the drop-offs later on. And I do show that in one of my other videos. In fact, if you want to see that, just check out the video where I show how to get over 800k on both versions of Dead Don't Ride. But anyhow, moving on here, another lengthy trip to get to the very top up here, and looking just to do a drift at the end here as well. If I'm coming in with a lot of these at speed, I'll do the drifting in order to just get a few more points, but it's not essential by any means. But the pickup here, yeah, always make sure that you're on the edge of that circle there, and then from there it just makes getting to the next drop off that much easier, or more to the point, that much quicker. Now here is another example where I try and use the coat. I actually overshoot it a touch, and I'm very lucky to get away with a happy drop off there, but I always like to stop the vehicle at that point up there because it is on a hill, so you can stop the cart a damn sight quicker. But now the next one. This is one of the swarmers in the run that if you don't hit them here, you'll never get the chance again. So that is always a priority hit. There are a few others like this, but thankfully it made light work of that very potentially tricky drop-off. Now from here, this would be the route that I'm taking to potentially get a second crack at that swarmer that I mentioned about earlier. don't have to worry about that now because I already have them. And yep, a very slight mistake there when trying to be smooth over that section, but maybe cost me about a second in time at the very most. But this one is, yeah, it's quite a lengthy drop off, this one. So there are two ways to get to this section up here. You can take the route that I've taken there, or you can actually veer off slightly to the right just as you get to the side of the lake.
How's it going?
Now, moving on, we're starting to get to some tricky drop-offs. This is one of them. Now, I've taken out that swarmer there, but I didn't have to. I would have got a much better opportunity later on, but the fact that he was in my run line just meant I was just going to take him out when I had the chance. Now, that swarmer there, you've got to hit the first time. It's a one-shot deal. If you miss that one, you'll never see it again, because you'll never be back up this way, that's for sure. And there is another swarmer. The same problem. You've got to hit that one when you get the chance there. Okay, moving on. There is a few spots that I can look to go to here for pickups, but it's always this one down here.
You. Oh, hey.
And yeah, I do take the time to actually get kind of close to that one. Now, heading up that hill there, I always use that lamppost as a guide in order to make sure that I get the right line. I always just try and make sure that I'm to the right of it, and that way you ensure that you're not hitting any vehicles. After this, just looking to get a drift in play here.
Appreciate it.
Now, another swarmer to take care of, and then this is the particular drop-off that there is two options for doing. Because I got the problematic swarmer very early on, I'm going to take the route that I consider just very slightly quicker. Up here, make sure in between the lorry and the sign, get that swarmer, and then over here, make sure that I get close to this one. Now, you might hear this Ripper saying many a time, stick to the path. You don't stick to the path at all. The path can actually slow your vehicle down if you catch certain parts of it, so be aware of that. Okay, this is a potentially tricky one. Got to make sure that the landing there is good, because honestly you can get problems with it. And the line here, in order to get over to this next section, has to be pretty accurate too. I try and stay close to that particular tree, just gets me through here, and this is one of the swarmers you can potentially miss, because sometimes that swarmer can be behind one of those cars. You can't slow down to get it, because it defeats the purpose of what you're trying to do. You're looking to get more time, not use more of it. And from here, looking to get to the back of this drop-off, because I know that the next pickup is right behind me. Shouldn't have to move too much. Right there. The beauty of using this particular route that I do. And so far, I've got everything in place. I haven't missed a swarmer, and I haven't missed any of my marks in terms of targets for getting to particular points at a certain time. And another one of my markers is coming up very soon. It's where the time is after I have dropped off this one and picked up the next passenger. Basically in the swimming pool behind this building right here. And I already know this is going to be a good time, because normally I'm expecting when I stop to pick up this one here that my time is over 5 minutes. That is my guide, and look at that. I'm sitting at 5 minutes and 7 seconds, so I know at this point now I am well on for a fantastic score. It's just making sure to keep everything pretty tight, well held together, no stupid mistakes, because they can happen. Mistakes can come anywhere in this challenge. Now up here, I'll look to try and get to the very end of this one, because you can slow down the vehicle very quickly. But of course, if you stop at the beginning of that, you're having to get the cart uphill in order to get over. So you do cost yourself time. It's all about positioning for a lot of these pickups and drop-offs. Now, I've already taken care of the swarmer up here, so I don't have to worry about that one. Do slightly overdo that one, but not by much. I'm always looking to get as close to the top as possible, and then of course picking this one up here as close to the bottom of that circle. Now, another potentially tricky drop-off here, because you've got to navigate this section that can throw your cart all over the place, and then I'm looking to get a very tight line through these trees here. But yep, all the obstacles successfully navigated there. Now, next one. There are a couple of options for going about how you do this particular drop-off. I have experimented with one or two variations, but the one that I did experiment with, actually going over the top section of a cliff very nearby, just to the right of where I did, can potentially save you a second or so, but can actually cost you a great number of seconds if you get it wrong. So the way that I go about it is always just what I've shown there. This one, you've got to be accurate. I always aim just to the right of that beam there to ensure that I get on the right landing there, and then crash into that vehicle to ensure that I get a happy drop off. That is one of the most difficult by far. And thank you to Neanderthal Bard for the method of showing how to get that one done properly. Because until that gent showed that, it was always very much hit and miss. But now, doing it that way, it's a damn sight more hit than it is ever miss. Now, approaching my next target, and this one is the biggie. I'm looking to get up here with at least 5 minutes and 3 seconds on the clock, and I know I'm going to have a damn sight more than that because I'm not that far away now, and I've still got 5:20 on the clock here. So at this point, yeah, I'm actually getting a tad nervous now, because a very dicey maneuver is coming up, and it's right here. Now, the time here is bloody fantastic. Here is where I'm looking to save the time. And I get up there, but I hit that with way too much speed, and I even don't quite get the flipping cart stopped immediately. But I do save at least 3 to 4 seconds by getting to that ripper in that manner. And now I'm just going flat out, because there are no tricky parts left for me now. These last 3 are quite easy to take care of. This next one here, just to make sure, go through that gap there in order to get straight to that passenger. There is one last swarmer to take care of down here. And I always make sure to come out of this section at this point here. You just get a nice bit of room there that you can easily, without having to lose much in the way of speed, get back onto the main route in order to get over to this here. And I like to make sure that the brakes are applied early there, because it's very easy to overrun that if you're not careful. Okay, moving on to the last one. I've already got all the close pickups in place, so I always go up to the top section there. You're just saving a little bit more time. The last slightly tricky section, you've got to be a little bit slow in getting over there, and now I'm just looking to hit that post. And now the work is done, and I'm very patiently waiting to see the score. And oh my god, not only 848k, but the bonus there was 666 with 3 zeros on the end. But yeah, the work of the devil indeed. So now, just finally take a look at the leaderboard. And no change for me, as I was already the world number 3, but I am a little bit closer to the top 2. But that's it, folks. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Take care.